Good morning. Today I want to talk about what it means to be like the behemoth. So I guess in the interest of kind of pulling back and stopping myself and realizing that this series of videos is for my children, I want to talk about like the things that kind of started all of this in my head. The behemoth in the Bible, Job 40:15. Describes this miraculous beast, and God is proud of this thing. He's telling Job about this beast that he's kind of bragging about it. It's so powerful and it's so awesome, and it's something he describes as chief among all of his creations. In my mind, like his favorite creation, which is something that I would love to get to the gates of heaven one day and hear God say about me, right? I mean, if God turned to you and said, oh, he's among the chief of all my creations, like obviously that's the goal, and you want to strive to be like the behemoth, because there's not any way that you can actually become that. It's like, people saying try to live like Jesus, and that is a lofty goal. Obviously no one knows that you can't actually be up to that level of living a sinless life, but you can strive. And if you that's all you have to do. People say shoot for the stars and you aim for the the moon, or if you aim small then you miss small. I don't know, but whatever. You have to set your standards high so that when you fail miserably, at least you're a little better off than you would have been in the first place. So striving to be like the behemoth, to me, just means that we need to have, a responsibility and a self-discipline, mentally, physically, and spiritually. That's what it's all about to me. I strive to be like the behemoth mentally and just keep my thoughts pure, focus on things that are important, focus on the things that are real, and I don't think that that's just like, oh, you have to think about your spiritual life the entire day. You can stop and let your mind wander at all. There are things that happen in life, and you have to think about finances, and I think part of being like the behemoth is being responsible and self-disciplined, financially, and making good business decisions and good investments and that sort of thing. So that's something that I also want to talk about throughout this video series, I guess, if you'd call it that. But so then, financially, so that's I guess mentally, and then physically, I like to work out. That's something that's been important to me. That's a big part of my life, is getting to the gym and lifting some weights and figuring out. It's been interesting to figure out the science behind growing muscles and how you get stronger, how things work. So it's been a big part of my life, and so that's something that's going to come out, obviously. And I think that it makes a lot of good correlations to life in general. So that's where I might throw in some stuff like that. So mentally, physically, and then spiritually, of course. Being like the behemoth spiritually, I sort of already touched on that. That's where the goal would be to be described as one of God's favorite creations, and that's how awesome of a thought that is. So go read Job 40. It's 15 to the end of the chapter. I think 29 maybe, but to the end of the chapter. Read about the behemoth and see what you think. I kind of correlated the behemoth to being the ideal man of God. And then if you go to the next chapter, if you go to chapter 41, he starts talking about the Leviathan, and there were a few things in there that I thought were kind of cool. I thought it's pretty cool to think of the behemoth as being the ideal man of God, and then maybe the Leviathan could be the ideal woman of God. And just finding correlations there, and just something kind of cool. Come up with a little logo and t-shirts and that sort of thing. Just something that'll keep you reminded. You'll see the logo and think, oh yeah, that's something that I'm striving toward, and keep yourself motivated and reminded every day that's something that's one of your goals. So anyway, that's part of the thought that goes on, I guess, about the behemoth and the Leviathan and where that comes from. So if you go do your own reading and thinking about it, try to digest that chapter 40 and 41 of Job a little bit today. And I think it would be kind of eye-opening and be something that would maybe start a conversation between you and God, something you can try to listen to him and see what sort of message he has for you in that. So that's the thought for the day. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.